guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be talking about tips on being a paperless student, the pros and cons and the ins and outs. And if you guys aren't following our Instagram page for this YouTube channel, it's Pow Pow Vlogs. Give it a follow, give it a comment. And there I'm just updating you guys on what's going on for this channel and new things and new video ideas and like your contributions too. But I did a poll on whether you guys wanted to watch paperless student tips or college Q&A at Loyola, and it was almost 50-50, so I'm gonna do both. Well, both. And today's, as you see in the title, it's tips for being a paperless student, how I do it, what I do, and all of that. So let's just get right into it. So for starters, I'm going to tell you how I became a paperless student, and then we'll go into more of the pros and cons and all of that. So in high school, my high school used laptops. Everyone had a laptop where we would like do all our work, share our documents, everything. So since high school, I've been sort of paperless to a certain degree because a lot of things were done through our computer. So going into college, I knew that I liked that rhythm and it worked really well with my studying and everything. But I ran across the problem that not all professors allowed laptops in class or like phones and stuff. So I was kind of at a debacle because then I had to switch over to notebooks and such. But for many reasons I didn't like it. I was just really used to being connected and using all those resources. And also it was just, my book bag was really heavy and cluttered all the time. So I needed to find a solution. So what I did is I got an iPad and the pencil for my birthday. It was an early birthday present, and I don't know exactly which model this is. I'll look it up because not all of them are compatible with the pencil, but yeah, it's just this one. I'll link it down below. But it was a good balance and mix between the two. And I'll tell you guys how I convinced the professors that don't allow electronics to let me use my iPad. There are many tips and tricks for that, which I will tell you how I did it. Because most professors, when you explain what I'll talk about, are very accommodating and will allow you to use this. And I can go into so much depth on the apps that I use in order to stay organized and stay with all my like schoolwork and homework and everything on my iPad. But today I'm just gonna go in and I wrote down a couple different tips and pros and cons that I kind of want to talk about, and then we'll go from there. So to start off with cons, like I mentioned just now, some professors won't let you. Some professors, even if you explain and you try to convince them, they will not let you. So you just have to accommodate. You can't be always 100% paperless, because if they don't let you, they don't let you. And that's fine. You just have to work with them. But another thing with that is they might let you go paperless and write on either your laptop or iPad or tablet or whatever it may be, but they'll still give out worksheets and paper and stuff. So I always like to carry around a folder for all that stuff so it doesn't get lost or missed, or even like exams and quizzes are usually on paper and not online. So I like to keep them in one place, and I know that they can't accommodate that for me. I just have to kind of go with it and kind of work along, so I just carry on the folder, right? And probably the biggest con, but it can also be like an in-between, is that these devices are usually pretty expensive. So you either have to save up a lot or ask for like a really nice Christmas or a birthday present, but they're pretty expensive, and that's kind of the biggest downside. But I also think that in the long run, it saves you money too, because you are not spending on notebooks, pencils, and all of that every year. And textbook wise, I've noticed that digitally, they're usually cheaper than having to order them through like a hard copy or paperback. So you are saving money in that sense. So it really depends on like how much you get out of it too. And I definitely think that I have used it, like I'm using it to its full potential, and it is paying off the money that we put into it, right? But more than anything, I have a lot of pros on why, and I stress this enough, like I recommend everybody and anyone to go paperless. I understand it's not for everybody, but let me tell you the pros. So Like I said, you spend less money per year because you're not buying all this stuff. I briefly mentioned that. Also, just from an environmental point of view, you are wasting less paper, which is really nice because usually by the end of a semester of a class, you toss those notebooks away and you're just like wasting paper. So it's like really nice to know you're kind of helping a little bit in that sense, in like an environmental term or whatnot. So another thing is that everything, all of your work is in one device, in one place. So even if I forgot my iPad and I have my computer, I know everything is there. Like, it's so nice to have everything in one place. You can't lose it. So that's a really, really big plus. Another thing is that I feel like my studying habits have gotten better because of it. All the resources that I use on my iPad and with my note-taking app make studying so much easier. And the biggest thing is just the app that I use for note-taking is called Notability. It does cost money, but it is so great, and I can go into a full depth video of how to use Notability, how I use Notability, and all other apps, but it helps me study and keep myself in focus. Also, for all you creative majors out there, it is so nice because with the pencil, you can get really creative and draw and have all this stuff on your iPad and easy on the go. So I am a advertisement and public relations major, so a lot has to do with creativity. So it is a good tool for my classes and to be able to have more accessibility to that stuff. One of the biggest pluses for me is that it reduces the weight of my book bag by a bajillion. Like, I just carry around the folder that I told you about, my iPad, and my computer, and that is it. It is so nice. Like I said, it's more than just note-taking. There are so many apps that help you stay organized and keep your work together, and it's just a really nice tool. Like I said, comment below if you would like to see a more in-depth video of all the apps that I use and how I use them. Also, as mentioned previously, you can get your textbooks digitally, so it's so nice because you have them in one space and you can scroll through and you can annotate, which I also use with Notability, and it is so nice, a really nice feature that I absolutely love, and it has helped my studying. Lastly, I'm just going to go into a few more tips. Obviously, not everyone can go paperless. I know that sometimes I miss the feeling of like just a notebook and just a piece of paper and like writing. Although I do sometimes carry a notebook around because there's a professor that really wanted me to use a journal separately for other stuff. But it's really not, it's not always for everybody. But I think it's benefited me in so many ways. So that's why I want to share this video so you guys can see the reasons why I like it so much. But it definitely isn't for everyone. Some people just really like notebook, pens, and papers and all of that, which is fine. And lastly, my tips on how to convince your professors on allowing you to use this, because at the end of the day, it's an electronic, and sometimes they don't say no laptops, they say no electronics. So my biggest thing is I tell them how I take notes and how it helps me study better. Like I said, I can go into an in-depth video, but there's a lot of resources on my note-taking app that I don't get with a notebook and a pencil and a paper. So that's the biggest thing I talk about first. I'm like, this is how I use it. These are my previous notes that I've used, and it works really well for me. Another big thing, they might be like, well, I don't want you scrolling through Instagram, or I don't want you on Twitter or whatnot, or watching videos. One tip for that is you can say like, I can sit in the front and my iPad can be flat so you can see everything that is going on in my screen. Or iPads, and I'm pretty sure iPhones might have this too, have a lock for a certain app. So you could be like, well, we could lock the iPad for the class period, and what you do is you pick the app you want to stay on, and at the beginning of the class they can put in a password that only they know, and it will stay locked in that app, so you cannot like exit out and like go scroll through any social media or like watch videos or like message people. It'll stay on that app and you cannot access anything else without putting in the passcode. So it's really nice because that way you're guaranteed to just stay kind of like on the app that you're on, and you guarantee them that it's just another resource for you and it's just the way you take notes, and they can unlock it on the way out. I haven't had to go to that extreme, but that is a good tip that they might feel more convinced, because at the end of the day it's just an electronic notebook, you know. So I haven't had to use that yet, but that is a good tip if your professors aren't budging or allowing you to do so. But most of the time I just explain how I take notes and how I will like stay on task and everything, and I usually don't have a problem. Like I said, another professor was like, it's fine to take your regular notes, but for journals I want a physical one, and then I just did that. But for the most part, it has worked out so far. So yeah, those are just kind of my tips. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them down below. Share this with your friends, and if you try to go paperless and you have more tips and ideas, just send them right over. You can DM me on Instagram at @PapalVlogs, like I said, or you can just comment down below. All of that fun stuff. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, because I will be posting more college related videos and all of that jazz. Or if you want to watch anything in specific, let me know down below as well. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you have any more questions or want to see more on how I do school and college, just let me know. Alright guys, I hope you guys have a good day. See you in the next video. Bye!